Okay, so here we are with the final Friendship is Magic tier list that I have been talking about for weeks, for several seasons, where I take all of my favorite episodes and determine which one is the best. Now, over the past few weeks, I have been binging the show. I believe it took me 10 weeks to do, including the week where I was on the cruise. I didn't watch anything. But aside from that, I have watched more or less about a season every week. I have done a tier list for every season. And what I specifically included here was any episode that was in the S tier for its respective season, the double S for its respective season, and a few choice A tier or B tier episodes that have really kind of stuck in my head since I finished watching them. And also, Fallout Equestria is also here. The reason Fallout Equestria is here is, if you've noticed, some of these episodes are screen caps while other of these are title cards. I used the title cards that I could find by JowyB. It might be JowyB, but you pronounce the W as an E. I'm not exactly 100% sure. Their title cards are fucking amazing, by the way. I absolutely love them. If I could find one of their title cards for an episode, I used that. However, it seems like I couldn't find a whole lot in season 5 on. It's like there were a few in season 5, a few in season 4, and then season 6 onwards, I could not find any. So for all of those, I just used screen caps, and they had one for Fallout Equestria, and yeah, I'm just going to put Fallout Equestria in the top tier, no one can stop me. So, what I want to do is, I guess, let me just explain what the tiers are. If you are here, and there's like almost 90 episodes here, because believe it or not, I enjoyed the vast majority of the show, and even the episodes that aren't here, a lot of them I still like. There's still like A tiers or B tiers. I'm like, yeah, I respect it maybe more than I like it, but I still kind of like it, you know. What my goal is, if an episode does not cut it anywhere up here, it is an A tier episode, because it's still a really fucking good episode, and there's a lot to like about it. The S is specifically for my top 26 episodes. The reason I selected 26 as the target number for S is because of the 9 seasons of Friendship is Magic, 8 of them have 26 episodes. And that's why I felt like that's a pretty good number to say, if an S tier is supposed to be my favorite of something, or it's like you are in contention to be my favorite, I feel like that feels like a pretty good cutoff point for that. The double S is 13 episodes, because season 3, the only season that doesn't have 26 episodes, has 13. The triple S will be kind of cutting the number down a bit more. It's like, okay, if this is the top 26, this is the top 13, this will probably be about the top 6 or 7-ish. And then the princess tier, even though Fallout Equestria is going to be on there as well, because it's just kind of here, is the best episode. Now, while yes, there are several princesses in the series, we get a maximum of 4, and I mean, I don't think Flurry is really considered a princess, but she is an alicorn. We do have 5 alicorns by the end of the show. Once you get to the last problem, it seems that there is 1 princess remaining, and as such, there will be 1 episode remaining. Now this is being weird. So other things to bring up, all 2-parters count as 1. You know, it's not going to be here in the S tier. Well, there's actually only like 10 episodes because several of them are 2-parters. No, 2-parters are going to count as 1. Aside from that, I have no quotas. I'm not like, okay, I have to have this many Rarity episodes, this many Fluttershy episodes, this many episodes per season. However, if the number is 26 and there are 9 seasons, that means there's gonna be 8 seasons with 3 episodes and and then 1 season only gets 2. Just mathematically, that's kind of how I think about it. However, if when everything is said and done, there are no episodes from season 1 in my top 26, there's no episodes from season 1 in my top 26. I'm not gonna force it. If when I'm all said and done, I'm like, man, there is not a single Applejack episode in my top 26, and that's just how the cookie crumbled. That's just how the apple fell. That's probably would have been the better way of saying that. But, with all that said, without further ado, we start with Dragonshy. Dragonshy, I think, is going to end as an A-tier episode. I think it's the first great episode of Friendship is Magic. I can see that argument for Applebuck Season. I think Applebuck Season is a really, really good episode. Dragonshy, to me, it just kind of does everything I want from a Season 1 episode. And it was kind of from an episode in general, except it doesn't have a song. Well, I mean, even then, it's got a little Pinky song. I think the episode is fun. You got a good adventure. You've got Fluttershy standing up for herself and kicking ass and overcoming her fears. You get Rainbow Dash being a piece of shit. Every pony is there. It's a great time. I absolutely love it. But I'm like, if this was a top 50, maybe even like a top 40, I could see Dragonshy having a chance to make the list. But oh, what the fuck? Sorry, I just noticed that was slightly out of order. Like I was saying, if it's like a top 50, maybe even 40, Dragonshy I think would be a genuine contender. But I think there's at least 26 episodes that I like more than it, but it's really fucking good. Winter Wrap-Up. This might be a hot take, even though we're talking about a wintry themed episode. I think Winter Wrap-Up is a good episode carried by a phenomenal song. Like, it's one of those episodes where I'm like, okay, is it particularly, like, badass and, like, a good adventure the way that Dragonshy is? No. Okay, is it particularly funny? I think there are some scenes that are pretty funny, but I think there are funnier episodes. I think there's funnier episodes. That goes after that one. I think there's funnier episodes in Season 1. Is it a super heartwarming episode? Kind of. I feel like there's some... You know, there's a bit of like a heartwarming moment by the end. I think it's really... Winter Wrap-Up is a good episode. The song is a lot better to me. It's like the song is what makes the episode so special and so memorable. And I'm a lot more likely to listen to Winter Wrap-Up than I probably am to watch the episode. I will go ahead and say... I don't have my top 26 figured out. So there's going to be... I know I'm putting these two in A because I know they're not really going to be on the list, but I do want to go ahead and talk about them real quick. There's going to be points where I'm like, this is probably one of my favorites. This is probably one of my favorites. And I'm probably going to have more than 26 episodes in the S tier when I'm done. And then I'm going to have to start making cuts and putting stuff down into A. Fall Weather Friends, I think, though, this is another one that's not going to make the list. It's such a fun episode. I think this is a really fun episode. It is what really established the rivalry between Rainbow Dash and Applejack, and I don't know if I'd say it's the best episode to feature it, because Castlemania is a ton of fun, but it's one of the several plot lines in Castlemania where here it takes center stage, and unlike non-compete clause, it makes their rivalry fun, it makes it super entertaining, we get a fun little tortoise in the hair by the end as well. All in all, it's an episode that I'm, like, very sweet on, but even I'm like, I don't think it's going to be in my top 26. Suited for Success. This is another... We're definitely seeing a trend here with Season 1. To me, Suited for Success, the moral is what makes me kind of like, how much does this episode work? Now, this episode is not one, not three, but two morals. Number one, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. And number two, if you can't please every pony, or like, don't try to please everyone, because if you try to please every pony, you'll end up pleasing no pony. Those are not inherently bad morals. I also really like from a creative standpoint, don't try to please everyone because you'll end up pleasing no one. I think I've heard David Bowie say something very similar, and I really like that sentiment. The problem I have is in its context. This is commission work. It's not that Rarity is working on Like, for example, let's look at, where's Simple Ways? There it is. In Simple Ways, Rarity is working on hosting a big, like, town, like a soiree thing. If it's something like that and everyone's saying, Rarity, you should do this, Rarity, you should do this, and then she's trying to use everyone's ideas to plan this event, but it doesn't work because this clashes with this, which clashes with this, and you should have just went with your own idea. Yeah, maybe some people wouldn't have liked your idea, but it still would have been your idea, your vision, which is something she even says in her song, which is a really great song. You know, got to pick up the pace and still hold to my vision. But it's a commission. Whether it is something she is doing for free or it is something that they are paying for. It sounds like she's doing it for free, and then there's a line of the song that you simply have to fudge it, make sure that it stays within our budget, implying that maybe they are paying for this. And if that's the case, you're not trying to please everyone. You are trying to please 6 individuals. You are not trying to please Twilight when you're making Applejack's dress. You're just trying to do something nice for Applejack. Now, granted, she's getting very swamped because there's a deadline approaching and she's got to change your shit and your shit and your shit. That's a different kind of moral, though, about being able to pace yourself, about not taking on too many projects at once. And then you want to make sure when you're doing creative projects and commissions, you're able to give each one the time and care it deserves. You gotta give each of them the fucking rules of rarity, damn. I swear at the end of that. I don't know. I was trying to say, like, girl, and then instead of, like, yo, you gotta do it like this, girl. I'm like, damn, that was fucking weird anyways. I don't mind swearing. I'll swear all the time. It just, that one didn't make sense anyways, though. And also, you shouldn't look a gift horse in the mouth. I get it. You know, it is very rude when someone gives you a gift and you're like, this is a piece of shit, especially when they put their heart and soul into it. Remember the episode of SpongeBob with the pie bomb and, this sweater is really itchy. What's it made out of? Eyelashes. Then Squidward throws it back at him and then, is this one better, Squidward? I made it with my tears, which, that's an all-time joke. I fucking love that. Squidward is being an absolute asshole. But again, here, this is a commission. This is something that you are making for me specifically to fit to my tastes. You made something for me, and I really appreciate it, but it's not quite what I'm looking for. Like, when I commission an artist, I don't feel like I'm a super asshole about it, but I'm like, okay, this is what I'm looking for. And a lot of, like, I allow creative liberties. It's like, yeah, like, if they take some creative liberties, I'm like, that's a really cool thing. I like it. I'm like, cool. I absolutely loved that. But if the creative liberties are things that don't quite work, I am going to point that out. It's like, this is why this doesn't particularly work with what's in my head. Can we fix this? Because that's what a commission is. It is the artist trying to make something cool for themselves, and put some creativity in there, and I want to see that. But it's also, I have a client, and I want to make the client happy. And I know I pointed out in Inspiration Manifestation when she does when she makes the puppet show wagon, Rarity learned the wrong lesson, because she makes it to her ideal rather than to the client's specifications. And while the client is an asshole about it, he's not wrong in that context. So as much as, like, and I know I'm, like, really shitting on this episode, it's here for a reason. I love this episode. I think it's great. There's a lot of competition to be in the top 26 because there's damn near 90 episodes. And if I'm like, you gave me 2 different morals, like, explicitly, not just reading between the lines, I can see this, and I don't think either of them work in context, those are the kind of issues that will keep... I still absolutely love this episode, but I think there are genuine problems that keep it from being up here. That's what I am trying to say. Feeling Pinky Keen, this is another A-tier season 1 episode. I think this is just a really fucking funny episode. It is a slapstick episode. It is a damn Looney Tunes episode. And I love it. I understand why a lot of people have a problem with the moral. I think that's totally fair. It doesn't personally bother me. It doesn't detract from my enjoyment of it. I just think it's a ding-dang good time. But I think there are funnier episodes. There are funnier Twilight episodes. There are funnier Twilight episodes. And I think there's funnier Pinkie Pie episodes as well. And I don't know if all of those are going to make it on the list. And like I said, it's not that I have specific quotas. But if there is an episode that does what another episode is trying to do, but maybe does it a little bit better, those are probably going to make the top 26, or at least be a stronger contender than one of these. Sonic Rainboom. This is the first episode where I'm like, okay, this has a genuine chance of making my top 26. I don't know if it does, because again, there's like 90 episodes here. 60 are getting cut. I love this episode. If this is the first great episode of the show, then this is the first, like, creme de la creme excellent episode of the show. I said it several times over the course of my tier list videos. This is the episode that gives Rainbow Dash her depth. Because until this episode, she is just the piece of shit friend in the group. And even in later episodes, kind of throughout the whole series, if we're being honest, she is the piece of shit friend in the group. I mean, then, you know, once you get Starlight, like, Starlight's way worse, because Starlight's an actual psychopath. But it's kind of what I like about Rainbow Dash. I think it makes her fun, and it makes her really... I mean, every pony in the main cast really stands out because of their personalities and their flaws. Not flawless, we're a work in progress. Rainbow Dash in particular, to me, really stands out from, like, we're really good friends, we got this great dynamic, and then... here's the one just kind of piece of shit. This is the episode, though, that makes her a lot more sympathetic and empathetic. All of that... excuse me. Sorry. Dry throat, and I completely forgot to drink water, even though I'm going to be here for a bit. So there's probably going to be a point where I'm like, I need to go get a water, and I'll go skedaddle real quick. But here's the thing. Rainbow Dash, the cocky... arrogant, braggart, looks down. I mean, she's not like super looked down on other people, but will definitely talk shit to people for not being as good at something as she is. You see a lot of that is bravado and a lot of that is projection. She is not as confident as she seems. And in this episode, because I remember the first few times I watched Sonic Rainboom, I was like, this was kind of hard to watch. Like, I get it. I get that it's important. I don't know how much I like it. And in some later rewatches, especially in this marathon, I'm like, no, this episode is incredible. Because of it really just... sorry, I'm thinking of Shrek. It's like, it peels away her layers like an onion, and you see, this is the person she really is. She is someone who wants to believe in herself, who is like, I can be something great, but I'm so scared that I won't be. I'm so scared of failing and looking like a fool. And then you see that develop. You see her become a lot more confident in herself. You see her willing to... where's Wonderful Academy? You see her willing to walk out on her dreams because she knows I won't sacrifice my dignity and the kind of person I am for this bullshit. Or you see her... where's Fame and Misfortune? I don't know where... there it is. It's the rarity face. You see in Fame and Misfortune her saying, it's like, you know, people think I'm a really cocky, arrogant piece of shit, but it gives me the courage to fail, which is something she didn't have back here. And it's nice to see. It's like, yeah, she's really grown in that regard, and I like that a lot. This is a phenomenal episode. So is Cutie Mark Chronicles. This, I know I ultimately said that Party of One was probably my double S tier of the first season. I really think it's Cutie Mark Chronicles the more I think about it. It is just, when I think of season 1 and my favorite episode, I always default to this. I like backstory episodes. I like origin episodes. Like, here's the origin of the main 6 and how they all got their cutie marks. And I just think it's really neat. And the fact that they were all connected. It's not that they all knew each other when they were kids, but that fucking Sonic Rainboom that she first did was really important. Where's Clem? here we go. It comes back, and it ends up being like a really important event. It's like it's just so neat. You know, are there episodes that are funnier? Yeah. Are there episodes that are more action-packed? Absolutely. But it's such a heartwarming, sweet episode. Like, this is, I wouldn't call a heartwarming episode, but it's such an interesting character study. This is a very heartwarming episode as well. They're definitely S tiers. Then we get to Party of One. So, when I was doing my Season 1 tier list, I was like, it's between these two for my double S. I ultimately kept both of them in there, and then I thought about it more. I was like, I think I'd give it to Party of One. I'm not so sure anymore. And I'm kind of starting to wonder if Party of One is a lot like Winter Wrap-Up. Where I said, Winter Wrap-Up is it's a good episode. I genuinely like it. It's carried by its song. I'm kind of starting to wonder, is Party of One a good episode that's carried by one scene? Now, that one scene, that being the party, is one of the most iconic scenes in the whole show to me. It is genuinely one of my favorite moments in the show's history. I think it's still a good, like, I still want to keep it up here in S. We'll see if it makes it, because I really like this episode. I think the singing telegram is really adorable. The fact that all of Pinky's friends, while they're keeping this secret from her, it's because we want to do something nice for her. We want to throw her the big party that she throws other ponies. And we're working really, really hard to keep up the surprise because we know how much she'll appreciate it. Okay, you know what? Now talking through it, it's like there's also the scene where she's interrogating Spike, and I think that's pretty damn funny. And then on top of all of that, you get the party. I still don't think overall I like it as much as Cutie Mark Chronicles. It maybe has an overall stronger scene. I think this is a stronger episode overall. I honestly think this is probably a stronger episode overall. Party of One is still really, really good. And at the end of Season 1, we have Best Night Ever, which I think is another contender genuinely for the top 26. It's so fucking good. Best Night Ever is just really funny. It has a very good moral, I think, of, you know, don't let your don't get too hyped up in your own expectations. God, I just see how many episodes from Season 2 there are. There's going to be a lot of contenders, and these slots are going to start filling up. Oh, boy. Anyways, what I really like about... sorry, I was getting tongue-tied, and I got distracted when I just saw how much of Season 2 there was. Best Night Ever, I think, has a good moral. It has a great song. I think I probably like Winter Wrap-Up a little bit more. But it still has an all-time great song. I think the episode is consistently entertaining. I think it's consistently funny. And the Fluttershy scenes in particular absolutely fucking kill it. I don't know if it's going to make the list overall, because like I keep saying, it's an exclusive list. But I think it's a genuine contender. Then we move on to Season 2. And starting with Return of Harmony, which is going to be dead ass, just going to be genuine, is not only a contender for the top 26, it's a contender for the top spot. Return of Harmony, since I watched it in this rerun, has been easily one of like my top 5 favorite episodes in the show. I think it does everything right. It introduces a great character in Discord. It's a good, fun adventure where we gotta beat this one particular baddie. I love how the baddie is, as the Lord of Chaos and Disharmony, is an active antithesis to the main cast. If there's one problem I have with a lot of the later season premieres and finales and these big episodes, for better or for worse, they kind of become the Twilight Sparkle show. I love Twilight Sparkle. She's a great character. Girl can be goofy as fuck. Just look at that face. And while she is the main character, they are the main 6. It's not the element of harmony. It's the elements of harmony. And that's why Return of Harmony is so good. Every pony feels important. Discord tests every single one of them. And then when they fail, you get to hang out with their discorded versions, who do get to show up again in Season 8, shout out to the Mean Six. But this might sound really mean, part of why I like the Mean Six so much is it's reminding me of a much better episode. Because fuck, I think Return of Harmony is so good. Like, the only thing to me that's, like, really missing is a song. And, I mean, I wouldn't mind if there was a song in here, but it really doesn't need one. It's epic, it's funny, and it feels like the last hoorah of the Main Six as a whole. Now, maybe as I go through some of the other two parts, I'm like, oh, okay, this one's important, or this one's important. Like, Magical Mystery here, they're all there and they're all important, but they're kind of pawns in a much bigger plan. And I'll give Twilight's Kingdom its respect because of the fact that it's an overall story arc. The rest of the Remain 5 got to do shit throughout the season, so when the finale is more about Twilight and her key and her role as a princess, I can forgive it a lot more because they actually got to do shit and contribute before then. But even, like, Ending of the End, as much as I love Ending of the End, because holy shit, that's another strong contender for being my favorite. The Remain 5 don't get to do a whole lot, or a lot of time to shine. It really is, I mean, it's more of the Team Rocket show than even it is the Twilight Sparkle show. While I really like that, I fucking love Return of Harmony for making every pony feel important. But speaking of the Twilight Sparkle show, you know Lesson Zero is another genuine contender for the top 26. This is genuinely one of the funniest episodes of the entire show. I think Party of One is the episode that kind of popularized the idea of the characters having absolutely insane facial expressions. Lesson Zero is really what codified it. Like, no. This is gonna be a thing. We are gonna get these crazy ass faces throughout the entirety of the show's run, and you are going to love it, and you are going to eat it up, and you know what? We fucking did. Hi, girls! Clock is ticking! If I can't find a friendship problem, I'll make a friendship problem! And then Tara Strong's voice acting in this episode as Twilight is losing her damn mind. Like, it's not just the faces that are great. The acting is great. It's another thing I love about Lesson Zero is it's an episode that's genuinely important because it is this episode that said, Twilight, you're the main character, but you don't have to be forced into every episode. You're not the only one that gets to learn friendship lessons. That applies to every pony because clearly y'all need to learn this shit too. It kind of was like poking fun at the concept of a Saturday morning cartoon that, yeah, every week your characters learn a new lesson and a character freaking out because, oh my god, I haven't learned a lesson this week. What happens? Like, do I get canceled? Do I, like, lose my status as the main character? And this genuinely meta look at the show. And I know there's episodes that do that as well. Again, shout out to Fame and Misfortune. A lot of the episodes that do that are very, I mean, this is still kind of a cynical look at it, can be very mean. And I think those mean looks can be very funny. But I get why people are like, this is just mean and kind of fucked up. Lesson Zero is just fucking hilarious about it. And again, in some way does change the status quo of the show going forward. Maybe not as much as other episodes, Magical Mystery Cure. But I feel like it's just a fucking perfect episode. Then we get Luna Eclipse. I think I'm gonna keep it in the A tier. I do love this episode a lot. I think it's very funny. I just love Princess Luna. This, I think in, like, Mare and the Moon, like, you get the backstory and everything, and you see her design, like, she's adorable, this poor girl, blah, 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 like, it's kind of interesting. This is where you get Luna's personality. You get all the memes, you get the fun has been doubled, and the how many points do I received. You get her Royal Canterlot voice, her talking in the Royal We. You get her updated design, and I love her updated design. I think it looks so good. This is also the episode that introduced that ponies have Halloween, and Halloween is very fun here, and It also gave us a little British pony. And you ever think about how you never saw Pip get a cutie mark? Like, as much as the cutie mark crusaders, like, yeah, we gotta help ponies get their cutie marks and understand their cutie marks. And the episode where they get their cutie marks, helping Pip become class president. And there's this whole song about that shit, too. And he just never gets it. Like, it's actually kind of sad. It's not like one of those, like, this is a missed opportunity, I don't think. But it's a little disappointing, I guess. But, as much as I like this episode, and I really do, I think there are episodes throughout the series that I like more. There's Princess Luna themed episodes that I like more. Like, gosh, her episodes of Celestia are so fucking funny. And even when I look at season 2, I know I said there's no quotas. If we average about 2 to 3 episodes a season 1 has already surpassed that. But when I look at how many episodes I've got here in season 2, I'm like, there's some season 2 episodes that mean more to me than Luna Eclipse does. So I think I'm going to keep it an A tier, and the Cutie Pox is very similar to that. This is, to me, the Crusaders' first great episode. I won't say their first good episode. I think Call the Cutie is fine. I think Showstoppers is really funny. Cutie Pox was great. I actually really liked the idea of the Cutie Pox. I think it's really fun. I think Apple Bloom just gets a chance to shine. I love how her two friends are like, yo, you already got your cutie mark? And they're not super jealous. They're not like, oh man, the Cutie Mark Crusaders must be done. They're just fucking happy for her. It's, again, I think there's better episodes. I think there are better Crusader episodes. One of which is no question a top 26er. But I think overall, if I gotta cut 60 episodes, ish, it might be like 61 or 62. This is one I think I would say, as much as I do like it, think it's a good time, it's not an S tier episode. Sweet and Elite might be Rarity's best episode. It is a genuine contender for this top 26. I remember the first time I watched it, I did not like it. I didn't even like the song. I was like, she's just kind of saying the same line over and over again. This isn't very good, and I don't know, it's grown on me a lot. Maybe it's because of Octavia's Overture, but it has grown on me a lot. Rewatching the episode, I realized how mature it is. That it is an episode about a person saying, I want to spend time with my friends, and I promised them I would go to this event. Like, I promised my friend I would go to her birthday, and I would make her something for her birthday. But I have a chance to genuinely try to achieve my dreams. What is more important to me? My friend's happiness and my promises, or my dreams and my goals? And she chooses her goals. And when friend in question finds out about this, she's really upset. Not because Rarity chose her goals over their friendship, but because, why did you ever consider coming to my birthday? Girl, go do this shit. I'm gonna have other birthdays. I can see you anytime, regardless if it's my birthday. Go achieve your dreams. I want that for you. I really appreciated that. And I like Fancy Pants a lot. I mean, in other episodes, he's maybe written a bit more as like high Canterlot. I mean, I feel like you still get the sense that like he's a good dude. He's maybe a little Canterlot elitist. But here he's, like he's the dude. He is, if there's a pony, every pony should know it's him. But he's also very down to earth about things. And just that moment where he's talking to Twilight. And he's like, hi there, young filly. Where did you get that wonderful dress? Where are you from? And the way it reads to me, I'm like, okay, this dude knows exactly who he's talking to. He's talking to Twilight fucking Sparkle. And he's not trying to be like, oh my god, who is this weirdo fucking dancing and making an ass of herself? He's kind of like, hey, okay, I know she's friends with Rarity, and I know she's wearing this nice little dress. Rarity probably made it. I'm going to talk to Twilight, who is also a pony every pony should know, and be like, hey, Where did you get that really nice dress? Oh, well, stranger, I got it from my good friend Rarity, and just doing Rarity a solid at the garden. But like, I just really like that. It's a great episode. And I don't know if this one's making the list. The last roundup isn't. The last roundup is super fucking funny. I think it's a good time. I think it's great. It's proof that you can have an Applejack-centric episode and it can be really entertaining. My favorite scene of the episode, no question, especially, you know, since it got edited, was the, Rarity, catch me! What? Pinky jumps off of Applejack's carriage, bumps into Rarity, they both fall off. Rainbow Dash keeps running, Twilight yelling, Rainbow, we gotta go back for him! No, they knew what they got into, and just the element of loyalty abandoning her friend so she could go get her on and off again girlfriend is hilarious. And then at the very end of the episode, yeah, despite the fact that they all went home together, they left Rarity and Pinky behind! Pinky is not bothered by this at all, and Rarity is choosing violence. That, I think, is one of the funniest things in the entire show. And then there's also, you know, the acknowledgement of Derpy and giving her a name and giving her a voice. To me, if they hadn't edited that out, if they hadn't changed it, it would be a genuine contender for this spot. Not only because of how funny it is, but that strong fandom acknowledgement, which also shout out to Feeling Pinky Keen for essentially making Derpy's design canon. But it's not like, wow, this edit leaves a bad taste in my mouth. But I'm also like, oh yeah, like this is the thing I really remember the episode for, and now this is what I remember the episode for, and I still think it's really fun and it's really funny. There's funnier episodes. Oh, fuck, I'm trying to get to you. There's funnier episodes. There's funnier episodes, or episodes that are about as funny, that don't make me go, oh yeah, and then you did this really cool thing and then couldn't do the rule. I guess it kind of does leave a bad taste in my mouth. It doesn't ruin the episode. It's still on this list, but I don't think I can give it a top 26 spot. Read and Weep, on the other hand, is another very strong contender for this. You know what, let me just do this real quick, because all three of these are. So here's why. Read 'em and Weep is an episode about not learning to read. Rainbow Dash could already read. It's an episode about how reading is fucking cool. It is an episode that, from what I understand, originally they wanted to call it Reading Rainbow, because Reading Rainbow is a show about how reading is fucking cool. And they're like, okay, this didn't get past legal. That's fine, we get it. It's an episode about reading. It's an episode about books. And as someone who likes to read, maybe hasn't done it as much as I should have since law school, and law school really just drains your desire to read. I started reading again last year. It's fucking great. As someone who likes to write books, see an episode about people who like books, and that it's not just, you don't have to be Twilight. You don't have to be a book nerd to like books. You can be a jock, and you can still find something that appeals to you. And as much as I don't really care for the whole daring do is real shit, because there's, I think, only one other daring do episode on this list, and it's more for the whole them referring to it as a book series rather than the actual adventure shit that comes with it. I don't know, I just think it's really good. I also had this tradition where after the NBA Finals, I would watch this episode, because when LeBron beat my Thunder, I was like, I'm upset, I need a quick pick-me-up, and I watched this, and I just did it for a few years. It was a fun tradition. It might not even make it, but it's so good. It's About Time, I think, is genuinely one of the funniest episodes of the show. It's Lesson Zero light, and, you know, if I'm comparing episodes, Lesson Zero is taking that 11 times out of 10. But here's why I think It's About Time genuinely has a spot here. It is a genuinely very, very funny episode. I love all the Metal Gear shit. It's a very important lore episode, because this is when, like, oh shit, Cerberus is no longer guarding Tartarus. Oh no, that's why Tyrek was able to escape. So Twilight's Kingdom doesn't happen without It's About Time. It's also where they They sneak into the Canterlot archives, which you see again later in Summer Sun Setback, which is how the Team Rocket is able to get the book explaining how the bell works, so it's important in Season 9. And that time travel spell that Star Swirl made comes back in the Cutie Remark, the Season 5 finale, because Glim Glam takes that shit, fucks with it a bit, and then starts doing time shenanigans. Like, holy shit. This kind of, this episode that seemed like it was here's some random funny bullshit, is genuinely one of the most lore-rich and important episodes of the entire show, and I respect that. On top of that, it has one of my favorite morals in the entire series. The future is going to happen. You don't have to worry about it. You should pay attention to it. You can prepare for it without worrying over it, without obsessing over it. But also, if you live too loose and free and don't think about the future at all, you're like, well, that's future me's problem. That's future me's problem. You're going to become future you at some point. Don't be too lax. Don't be too worried. Prepare and take things as they come. Actually, a really good moral. That's one I should probably fucking learn. I think it's great. And then Hurricane Fluttershy is like this episode is just here in the top 26. Like I say, for some of these, it's like, it's really good. I don't know. It's really good. I want to see it. This is in the top 26. I refuse to take Hurricane Fluttershy off of this list. This might not be Fluttershy's best showing overall. I think that would probably be here, and Fluttershy leans in. Because Fluttershy leans in is just, this is the full stop at the end of her character growth. But this is my favorite Fluttershy episode. I think it's like, yeah, we gotta make a tornado, put all the water in Cloudsdale and shit. Like, you know what? That's actually kind of fun. It's when we really get to see Coach Rainbow Dash, and as I said throughout the show, I think that was her true calling. Not being a Wonderbolt. It's like, yes, she is genuinely one of the best flyers in Equestria. The Wonderbolts are consistently shown to be assholes. Time after time after time. And you see, like, with Buckball, and then later when it's like, hey, I need you to take care of the cheer squad. She is an excellent coach. She's great at finding talent, about making the talent feel good about themselves, and then getting the best out of them. Rainbow Dash could win some Super Bowls, okay? I'm just saying. But, this is the episode where we get to see that we get to meet just a lot of random Ponyville, like, Pegasi, but I think they're kind of neat, and shout out to Bulk Biceps. Yeah! This is his first episode. This is the episode that introduced me to TV tropes, which it ruined my life, but it's still important to me. And also, it's a Fluttershy episode, and I think it's a very good one. I love her 80s montage. I really love the scene where she realizes that despite all the work she's put in, she's still not good enough in her own eyes. Everyone else sees, Fluttershy, you've made such a huge improvement, and we're so proud of you. And she's like, but you would not be proud if anyone else was on my level. The improvement is great, but I will be the only pony there below this threshold. Everyone else is killing it, and they're doing their best. And my best is damn near worthless. Rainbow Dash, if you were at an event, and everyone was contributing, and you knew that everyone else was contributing far more than you were capable of, would you feel good about that? And Dash can't respond because she knows that, no, yeah, I'd feel like shit. And I just think that's super interesting. And at the end, yes, they need Fluttershy to be able to finish it because everyone is sick. And even if your contribution is not that much, especially compared to other people, it might still be just enough. It might, even if you don't feel like your contribution is that important, it still can be. And I think that is a very good moral as well. It's a great episode. This is an A-tier episode. This is a really funny episode. I really like mystery on the Friendship Express. Pinky's Imagine spots are hilarious. Her and Twilight playing Watson and Holmes, and the fact that Pinky keeps trying to be Watson, and she's just not good enough at solving the mystery, and so she gets relegated to being the, what does she call it, the lowly assistant who asks stupid questions, is really funny. Like, I talk about Pinky Twilight episodes. This is a way funnier Pinky Twilight episode. I almost do kind of want to put it up here, but it's just like one of the funnier episodes of the show. You know, I don't think it's going to last, but I want to give it that shout out. And then we end with a Canterlot wedding. I can't put it in S. I've talked about a Canterlot wedding. I had a whole tier, like the last season 2 tier list video is just 45 minutes or so of me talking about this episode. It's got some of my favorite shit in the show. This particular shot of Cadence's evil grin as she's in this baleful green fire as Twilight descends into hell is one of my favorite moments in the show. The This Day aria is one of my favorite songs. It might genuinely still be my favorite song in the show. The main 6 versus the Changeling army is absolutely incredible. Evil Cadence talking shit to Twilight when she's in the caves, and, you know, her reflection is all looking at her and shit. It's so good. The narrative doesn't make a lick of sense. I think it's full of so many plot holes and plot conveniences, and they do bother me. Like, anytime I watch this episode, ever since, like, the first or even the second, I'm like, wait, this doesn't really work. This doesn't really make sense. I wish I could ignore it, but I can't. So as fun as this episode is, like, I feel like I could easily throw on a Canterlot wedding and I can have a good time, but I know I'm not having a great time because I'm still like, this is dumb. This doesn't make sense. Fuck. Crystal Empire. Crystal Empire to me is also an A-tier episode. I love the atmosphere of the Crystal Empire. I said it before in my tier list for that season. I love just how there's just this feeling of dread almost the entire time. That doesn't feel like it's this great epic adventure. Even this one, which is really funny and entertaining. It's like, no, there's nothing funny. Like, there's still some jokes, don't get me wrong, but it's like, man, there's nothing funny here. This thing is a problem. Like Sombra, that being the thing, because he's not really a character, he's a force of nature, and I really like that. I love how, like, you get this scene of a crystal pony trying to remember him, and they just have this image of Sombra in their head, and it's like, yeah, like, this was Sombra's spell, but it also just kind of comes across as, no, like, the memories of what he did to us are so awful that I don't want to remember. Like, I think it's an episode that the first time you watch it, you're like, okay, this was... Especially after this, which is just so in your face, all these great, memorable scenes. This one almost feels a bit lacking, but I think it's like, it's not as in your face. It's more in the atmosphere. It's more kind of subtle with how great it is. And when you really think about how Chrysalis was really fucking stupid, and I feel like she lucked into her plan working... Sombra lucked into his plan failing because there was so much shit that he did. Like, I love this. I love how intelligent this plan is when you really think about it. I don't think it's one of my all-time favorite episodes. Like, it's not a top 26er, but it's really good. One Bad Apple, I think I would say the same. Excuse me, I think this is another really great Cutie Mark Crusader episode. I like the song. I like Babs. I like... you know... Okay, here's the thing. I kind of want to put it up here. It's like, I think it could contend for the spot. I don't think it's gonna keep... It's kind of like this one, where as much as I really like it, I don't think it's gonna be able to keep that spot. This is less because the episode is super funny, and more just, I really like what the episode is saying. Bullying is a really fucking bad thing, and it can hurt a lot of people. Sometimes your bully needs help. And the best way for you to get help from your bully, and maybe for your bully to be kind of, for them to understand that what they're doing is wrong and that they should stop, is you need to tell somebody. You need to tell an adult. Tell a parent. Tell a teacher. Tell a counselor. Tell someone in authority so they can try to fix it. And look, I know that shit doesn't always help. It doesn't always work. I've been reading Worm. But you have to at least try. Because Sweetie Belle the entire time is saying, we need to tell Applejack. We need to tell Applejack. And Apple Bloom and Scootaloo are the ones saying, hey, we ain't no snitch. We can do this on our own. And it's them trying to do it on their own that fucks everything up. That, to me, is like, that should be the last resort. Your first resort should always be, tell them to stop and that it's not okay. Then if they don't, you have to tell an adult. I think if the adults don't help, then you're on your own. You know, if it comes to fisticuffs or booby trapping a parade float, I mean, they left you with no other options. You had to defend yourself in some regard. Like, I get it at that point. And I love how when Applejack's like, why the fuck did you not tell me? Sweetie Belle's like, I fucking tried! It's like, I told you to! Why didn't you listen to me? Like, I really like that. And, you know, Babs' story, like, she's a bully because she's been bullied and she didn't want to be bullied even further and kind of wanted to feel that power and she got addicted to that rush. I find that all really interesting. Yeah, maybe not an all-time 26er. It's kind of like Dragon Shy. If this was a top 50, top 40, I easily think One Bad Apple would get a slot. Let me just, wait, where'd Magic Tool go? Oh, what the fuck? No, okay. I'm gonna kind of speed run these episodes because I think these are all genuine contenders here for different reasons. Magic Duel is just really fucking cool. I love seeing Ooga Booga Trixie. Okay, first off, I just liked seeing Trixie again. I like seeing how stupidly powerful she was. Trixie got done very dirty in Ghostbusters. And seeing her say, no. Fuck all of you. I'm getting my revenge. Like, now the specific things she does, like deleting Pinkie Pie's mouth, funny, but maybe going a bit too far. But also, she's kind of justified in wanting to get revenge on you assholes. Sleepless in Ponyville. I think this is an amazing episode. It's the first of the Princess Luna trilogy, and it's the only one of the Princess Luna trilogy that I actually put on the list. It's really interesting to me when I look at the Crusaders. I think Scootaloo tends to have the best episodes, unless it's like them as a whole. I think Apple Bloom can be kind of hit or miss. Sweetie Belle, they're usually hits, but I don't think I have any Sweetie Belle episodes here on this list. When Scootaloo gets a hit, it's a really good episode. It's the episode that really started her, like, Rainbow Dash being her sister. It's always kind of something, as the fans, like, you see where it's going. It's the episode that made it a thing. It's an episode about facing your fears. I just think it's really, really good. Wonderbolt's Academy is a genuine contender for being my favorite Rainbow Dash episode. It's kind of like what I was saying about Hurricane Fluttershy. This is on the list. This is a top 26 episode. I don't know how many other Rainbow Dash episodes are going to be on here. Because Wonderbolt's Academy for sure. Testing when we get to that for sure. Read 'em and Weep, I would like to, but I don't know if it will. Sonic Rainboom, I really want to, but I don't know if it will, but I hope it does. Wonderbolt's Academy, to me, I've talked about how much I don't like the ending. I think Lightning Dust was done a bit too dirty. That is not enough for me to lower it on the list. I'm sorry. It is... When I think of Rainbow Dash at her best, this is what I think about. Someone who is a phenomenal flyer, someone who is very cocky, but can still be humbled, but who also knows that when push comes to shove, this is the person I am, and I am not gonna waver on that, and I really, really like that. Then you have Apple Family Reunion, the episode that's, like, not very funny, or really all that memorable. and it somehow has made me cry multiple times because fuck damn it, I genuinely love my family. And that's just what this episode is about. It's about how, you know what? If you have a good, healthy relationship with your family, it's like the most rewarding shit. And just because someone doesn't have a healthy relationship with their family, it doesn't mean it's their fault. That sometimes shit happens. But I have a great relationship with mine, and I love them. And watching this episode and that stupid fucking barn-raising song just made me feel liquid pride about that. And like, this episode might have to be in the top 26. There's episodes that are more memorable. There's episodes that are funnier, that are more badass, but damn it, it just does it for me, man. Magical Mystery Cure, like, I have to bring it up because I do really like the songs, and it's a musical episode, and I love musicals. And the actual idea of the Remain 5's cutie marks all getting fucked up, having to adapt to their new lives, and the new lives going very poorly, is such a fun concept. And it, talking about Twilight episodes that really changed the status quo, none more so than Magical Mystery Cure. And I don't mind the idea of Alicorn Twilight. It's like, yeah, this is something you get for passing a test on top of a few other tests and saving Equestria. And then we get an entire season of Twilight coming to terms with what it means to be a princess. And, is this something I'm actually equipped for? How much does it change me as a person? And I find that all really interesting. The episode is terribly paced. I feel like I'll blink and I'll be halfway through the episode, and then I listen to another song and the episode is wrapping up. It goes by way too fast for me. And also, like I kind of said before, I was like, wait a second, so Applejack is now working at Rarities, which means Pinky is now working at Applejack, but Applejack's cutie mark is not just apples in the farm, it's also like a family thing? And granted, as we see in season 5, I believe, we find out Pinky is kind of a part of the family, but like, so did the like Big Mac, Apple Bloom, and Granny Smith just forget that Applejack was related to them? Like, did their memories get fucked up as well? I don't know. I kind of would like to know something like that. That's pretty interesting. The fact that Rarity is all about weather patterns, again, that's something I said in the episode, like, I think that's a fun idea. It's funny, it's a funny visual gag, but that's not Rainbow's cutie mark. Rainbow's cutie mark is all about speed. If her thing was, I'm manipulating the weather, but I'm making the seasons go by way too quickly because this is a race and I gotta be fast, or she's constantly like zooming around Ponyville, that could have been really fun and a lot more accurate. Here it's a fun idea, I get it, but that's not Rainbow's destiny, that's her job. And I know a lot of people would say, God, I hope my job is not my destiny. So while I think that there's a lot of good, it's kind of like The Wedding where there's a lot of really good shit in this episode, overall, I don't think it really works. So we're 3 seasons deep. Let's see where we're at. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we're about halfway to a top 26 with I have no idea how many episodes left. So we're going to keep going. We'll kind of see how this goes. Princess Twilight Sparkle. I think this is a really good episode and a really good premiere. I don't think it's one of my all-time favorite episodes, but what I really like about it is how well it sets up season 4. It sets up, it sets up the Tree of Harmony, that the elements are fucked up, it sets up the keys, it sets up Twilight, not, like, I have a new place in Equestria and I don't really know what it is, and I'm trying to get it figured out, and her friend's saying, we'll help you with that, but we don't really know what the fuck we're doing here either. Do we call you Princess? Do we just call you Twilight? It sets up Discord becoming an important part of the season, and his weird, I'm your friend, but I'm just gonna troll you the whole time relationship with Twilight. It's not my overall favorite premiere. It's like, I think the Everfree Forest thing is fine. I like it, but I'm not like, damn, this is a really cool idea. The fight between Celestia and Luna is really cool. We also get a much better fight scene at the end of the season. Hell, in, I don't remember where the episode is. Maybe it's a season 8 episode, but this one, it's like, I feel like we get maybe a better fight between Celestia and Luna, like, throughout this episode. This is so really, really good. Castlemania, do I want to put it up here? Do I want to put it up here? I think it's probably going to end up as an A tier episode overall. Castlemania is just fucking funny. It is the opposite of Magical Mystery Cure, where this is an episode that goes on way too, like, it's over way too quickly. This episode felt super long, because there's not really a 3-act structure. It's just, hey, this is what this pair is up to for a few minutes. Here's this pair for a few minutes. But I liked how long it felt because I was having a good time. It's just really fucking funny. I just wanted to start ancient. Or Fluttershy thinking that Angel fucking died, or any of the dumb bullshit between Applejack and Rainbow Dash. I think there are episodes that have made me laugh harder. Lesson Zero is one. It's About Time is one. And I know we're going to get to some others as well. But it is a really good time. And I like how there's immediate continuity. Hey, maybe we should do stuff with the old castle. Hey, we're spending an entire episode inside the old castle. It's really, really good. Flight to the Finish. Another Scootaloo-centric Cutie Mark Crusaders episode. Another one that deals with them being bullied. Has probably one of my favorite songs. I just really like Heartstrung as Horses, okay? I think it's really catchy. It's an episode that deals with Scootaloo's disability and really kind of addresses it for the first time in the show. And I think that's really interesting. Maybe I should put it up here. Like, I really don't know if it's going to keep that spot. But you know what? I think this is a very good episode, and I want to put it up there. Three's a Crowd. It's not the first Discord-centric episode since this, because Keep Calm and Flutter On, which I don't really have on here. I like the episode, but I don't think I love it that much. This one, I think it's on here over that simply because Discord gets a song. I think the song is really funny. Him just trolling Twilight endlessly because he just wants to ruin her day, I think is fucking hysterical. And again, given the fact that Discord and Twilight's relationship ends up being important by the end of the season, I like that there's an episode dedicated to it, and how Twilight just does not like him and does not want to deal with him, which makes the fact that she forgives him by the end of the season really important. I think it's really good. Simple Ways. Here's another really funny episode, and I think it's one of the funniest in the whole show. Like I said when I talked about it, I think for about 2/3, it's really good. Or, like, not even really. I think for 2/3, it's a solid comedy episode with some good moments. Then you get the last third with, gosh, what did Rarity call herself? I don't remember, but you have Applejack as Apple Jewel, and her going all high society to fuck with Rarity, and then whatever the fuck Rarity called herself, and I love it, covered in mud, I think is one of my favorite line deliveries in the entire show. It might be my favorite line delivery in the entire show. It's so fucking funny. Oh gosh, I love it. Philly Vanilli. I think this is another one of Fluttershy's better episodes. Genuinely, if it wasn't for how annoying Pinky was written, this would be an S tier episode. It would be a strong contender, and it might just say, like, this has a slot. I think, to me, the two things that really hold it back, like I said, Pinky is way too annoying in the episode. Like, no. As annoying as she can be, she has enough self-awareness with her friends to not do shit like this. And I think the song is okay. They use it a lot throughout the episode. The song was a little bit better to me. I'd probably like it a bit more. But it's not that I find the song annoying, but I really like the moral. It's not just about overcoming stage fright, but it's like you faced your worst fear, your worst nightmare. Was it really so bad? I really like that sentiment a lot. I honestly just wish I didn't hate Pinky so much in this episode. But It's really good. It's really entertaining. Mod Pie, I don't know if it's keeping this slot, but I gotta put it up here for now. This episode introduces an all-time great character, and it's notable how a lot of you'll have an episode that introduces a character that fans really like and really took a liking to, and then you just won't see them for a while. Or like with Trixie, it took a couple seasons for her to come back, and then even longer for her to become part of the recurring cast. That wasn't until season 6. Maud, immediately after her introduction, was like, everyone liked her. So, like, every fucking season has a Maud episode. Sometimes they have a couple because the character was too good to pass up. And I love that. I don't think this is Maud's best episode, but it's... I mean, she might have multiple episodes on here. Wouldn't surprise me. I don't think she will, but fuck, it's such a good character. Such a funny episode. Yeah, Flim and Flam. I think this is Flim and Flam's best episode because I don't like Super Cider Squeezy. They are what save it from possibly being the worst episode in the show. Newbie Dash. The second worst episode in the show. I have Friendship U on here as well. Somewhere. There it is. I'm just going to put it here in A. It's because I don't think it's as good as this. I think it's good. I think it's entertaining. This, I think, is just a very good Applejack episode. And I like her crisis in this. If I lie, I am exposing con men, and I'm keeping them from, like, ripping people off. But my granny is being ripped off, and I should really say something. She's also happier than I've seen her in years. And if I lie, or excuse me, if I tell the truth, I expose that it's all bullshit, and she won't be as happy anymore. I don't care about my reputation. I care about doing what's right, but I care about my family's happiness even more. Also, possibly Flim and Flam's best song. I think the Super Speedy Cider Squeezy 6000 is a fun song. I think because I've heard remixes of it, I'm like, the song's a little too slow. But, like, the song here, I feel like has, like, just the right tempo, just the right speed, just the right energy. It's just a fun fucking time. Where are we at? Oh, let me go and finish season 4, and then we'll take count. Testing. One of my favorite episodes of the show. One of my favorite Rainbow Dash episodes. I love this. I love all the different ways they try to teach it. Like, Fluttershy's silent play is just kind of fun. Twilight trying to teach Rainbow Dash, and Rainbow Dash can't get into it. Is like shooting spitballs at her. It's like, wow, what an ungrateful shithead. But also, fuck, that was funny. Rarity's, okay, so Pinky's rap, I think, is really entertaining. You've got, I think Rarity just shows up wearing full Wonderbolt regalia. Like, what the hell are you wearing? You look stupid. Because I want to help you so bad, I'm gonna completely ignore that you said that. And then Applejack, well, yeah, fashion can't teach anyone nothing. This was fucking stupid. And Rarity looks like she just wants to strangle Applejack. And then you get the ending. You get that scene of Rainbow Dash and Twilight flying, and them having a conversation that I've had several times and have been on both sides of, where someone does not feel good about themselves. They don't believe in themselves. And a friend is trying to hype them up and teach them, no. You are that you are him. You are her. You are they. Like, you are one of the coolest fucking people I know, and here's why. And someone's like, I don't fucking believe you. Is one of the most real scenes in the entire series. And I respect that a lot. Fuck, this episode is great. Inspiration Manifestation, I think, is really fun. I don't think it's an all-timer. Again, it's kind of like a Dragon Shy, where I don't even know if I'd say it's top 40. I'd maybe go like top 60 or so, but I think it's a really good time. It's an episode that makes me really appreciate it makes me really appreciate the art of writing, because I really know that, yeah, if I could just snap my fingers and make the idea for a story I have be fully formed and fully fleshed out, it would be dog shit. because I know a lot of story ideas for me start off as there's something here, but it's maybe not quite there. And then as I write it, it really comes together. And there's those moments where this was what it was originally in my head. And then the more I wrote, the more I realized not only is that not great, this is 10 times better and it fits better. And I wouldn't have known that without writing it first. It's an episode where, like, when I first watched it, I said I would kill to have that book. And now I'm at a point where I'm like, I would not touch that with a 10.5-foot pole. And it's like, I've had character development. And that's great. I really like that. Equestria Games, it's an episode that's really stuck with me since I watched it. I can't put it in the top 26. I have too many genuine problems with the episode. This scene in particular, the fucking Cloudsdale anthem, I hate it. It is one of my least favorite moments in the entire show. I still really like overall what the episode is going for, and there's a reason it stuck with me. Twilight's Kingdom. This is one of the best episodes of the whole show. This has kind of been a genuine contender for the best episode since I watched it, and I think it's like a top... When I get to this triple S tier, Twilight's Kingdom is probably in there. I would kind of be shocked if it wasn't. It's absolutely incredible. Okay, so I think the actual plot of the episode is like, okay, Tyrek is really fucking cool. I love his design. I love how Unga Bunga he is. And I like that even as he gets stronger, he never stops being smart and crafty. And it's something I did not give him credit for when I first watched the episode. On this rewatch, I'm like, no. Tyrek is consistent and he's great. I love the whole Dragon Ball fight. I love the library getting destroyed. It breaks my heart, but it's like, yeah, that fucking hurt. Holy shit. And I love Discord throughout the episode. I love his conflicts and how I genuinely think I think Celestia sent him knowing he would betray them. And Discord at the end, like when he gives her the flowers and he winks, I always saw it as Discord was like, hey, I did my part in the plan. I didn't see it that way anymore. I saw it as like, hey, your plan worked. You knew what you were doing. You knew that I would fail and that Twilight would forgive me. Well played. And yeah, the fact that after everything Discord has done to her, here in Return of Harmony, where he was the problem and corrupted her friends, here where he just ruined her day for no reason, here where he was indirectly the problem, could have solved it at any time and just said, no, do it yourself. After all of that shit, and then having the nerve to betray her, and not only betraying her and her kingdom, betrayed her friends and gave them to Tyrek. She forgave him. Said, no, I want all my friends. Him too. I don't want you to hurt him. And I think that genuinely affected him. And yes, you see, Discord's still a troll. He's still a piece of shit. He's, for the most part, a lot friendlier to Twilight after this. It's notable that in his next episode, which is the one where he brings the schmooze to the gala, he's not trying to fuck... he's trying to fuck with Tree Hugger because he's jealous over Fluttershy. He is not trying to fuck with Twilight whatsoever. He's like, I am not here for you. I'm not here to ruin your day. I'm not here to ruin the gala. I got other shit that I'm dealing with. But God, this is an all-time episode. Okay, so where are we at? This, I think, was 14. So 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. We have 6 slots left. And we're about to get into Season 5. So I think that when I start getting into Season 6, when I'm adding an episode in, I have to take an episode out. Oh, man, this is going to start getting crazy. Okay, Season 5. This is my second favorite series premiere after Return of Harmony. The map is glorious. I know I was saying that Return of Harmony is kind of the last hurrah of every pony getting to do something. It's downplayed here, but it's still there. Fluttershy is very important to the plan working. Applejack is able to come up with a plan at some point. Pinky's immediate on-site distrust of everything going on and her constant expressions are great, and Pinky is integral to Applejack's plan. Rarity and Rainbow don't get to do a whole lot, but they're still there, and, like, I'm enjoying their presence. And, of course, it introduces possibly my favorite character in the show. It gives me Starlight Glimmer, who has a great villain song. I love how absolutely psychotic she is throughout the episode. How uncomfortable the cult feels. This is a phenomenal episode. Like, how does this not make it into the top 26? Like, there's no way it doesn't. It is just that fucking good. Castle Sweet Castle doesn't, but I like it a lot. I have to shout it out. I like how sweet and well-intentioned this episode is. I really like the song. Like, we just want to make our friend feel at home. Her home got fucking exploded during the Tyrek incident, and we want to be able to make her feel comfortable. Twilight, you have a spa day. You have the most relaxing, pampered day of your life, and we are going to make your home feel comfortable for you because we love you. I love that. It's super heartwarming. There's funny moments in it too. I don't think I could take these episodes off. Like, maybe a couple of them, but no, I think it's down here. Slice of Life, I don't have to say anything. Like, this is one of the best episodes of the show. I remember when I'm not going to say anything. Here I am saying it. I remember when I was done, I looked at Clay and said, I have not enjoyed an episode this thoroughly since Lesson 0. And we've had some bangers since Lesson 0. Fuck, Slice of Life is damn near perfect. It is. I think I had said the only thing to me, it's kind of like Return of Harmony. The only thing it's really missing is a song. But it does have one. It's not a vocal song, but we do get to see Tavi and Scratch like have a jam session together. Like, I do really like that. I really like that. This is really good. Amending Fences. I also think this is one of the show's best episodes. I really like the dichotomy of Twilight and Moondancer and seeing kind of like how Lightning Dust is what Rainbow Dash would be without her friends. Moondancer is Twilight if she never left Ponyville. Or excuse me, if she never left Canterlot to move to Ponyville. I just really, really like it. Like, I finished it, I was like, fuck, this has been one of the best episodes of the show so far, and 222 episodes down, I would still say that. Canterlot Boutique, I don't know if this one's gonna stay, but along with Sweet and Elite, I think these are Rarity's 2 best episodes. I really like the theming of it. You have a creator who loves their work. They love their passion. They're like, this is my vision. These are the rules that I adhere to. And how, I don't want to say selling out, but it's like going big and getting really popular and expanding. You have to sacrifice your vision to maintain that. And how it went from, this is like, I feel like it's what I hear a lot of YouTubers talk about. It's like, like this was something fun, and then it became a job. And when it became a job, it was like I had to become a content factory. I started to burn out. And I had no spark anymore. It's like what the vibe I get when I watch Kiki's Delivery Service. This is Kiki's Delivery Service in 20 minutes. I have my spark. And then my spark became a job, and it was gone. And then I finally found it and got my groove back. It's a really good episode. Rarity Investigates is funny as fuck. I don't think it's top 26 material, but damn if this episode is absolutely hilarious. Brotherhood Social, it is an episode that kind of had me tearing up at the end, and when I was talking about it in its tier list, it had me tearing up. I think it's a very sweet episode. I think it's pretty funny. It really is, overall, I like the episode and I like the vibes. It's that final scene between Big Mac and Apple Bloom that really sells it for me. I don't think, though, I would put it up here, knowing what's already up here and what's to come. But it's great. Same with Scaremaster. Like, this scene with all the, oh no, uninvited guests, and like that, Utna as a pony is now canon. I know there's others up there. I know there's Bulma. I know there's Ranma. I know there was Rey. Sailor Moon was there. Fucking Utna, though, fucking broke me. I laughed so hard when I got to this scene. It was amazing. It was impeccable. I think it's a very fun Fluttershy episode. This is the Cutie Mark Crusaders' best episode. There is no question about that. There's no doubt in my mind. It is not a fault of the episode itself, but the fact that this is about halfway through the show and Diamond Tiara does not get a line of dialogue afterwards is fucking wild to me. Like, holy shit. How does she not talk after? Hold on. Shows that order was a little fucked up. It's like, how does she not talk after this scene? That is wild. That is ludicrous. Here's Luda. Sorry, okay, that wasn't even a ludicrous reference. That was specifically the Afion Crockett ludicrous parody. I'm not even going to do the full thing, but I know I can. And the fact that I can do it off the top of my head from memory is kind of wild. But anyways, they took one of the show's most maybe not best, but most recurring antagonists, redeemed her in a way that I honestly think makes a lot of sense and is justified, and then did nothing with her after is kind of disappointing. But the episode is great. I think the songs are super catchy. I was crying when they got to the end and they're talking about how they're making their marks, and then their sisters are shouting them out. Applejack's like, Mom and Dad would be so fucking proud of you. And then Rainbow Dash is singing about like how proud she is of Scoots, and then Rarity is singing about how proud she is of Sweetie Belle, and I'm like, I'm fucking crying. Holy shit. This episode is great. Their best episode, no question. This one's also really good. No, not you. You. We're going in chronological order, Glim Glam. I know it's a time travel episode. Wait your ding dang fucking turn. The main attraction, it's just really nice. I like the songs a lot. Believe it or not, having a Tony Award winning actress sing in your episode means you're gonna have great fucking songs. Although seeing little Philly Rara with full adult Lena Hall's singing voice is weird. It's funny, but like, what? I don't think it's supposed to work like that. I don't think it's an all-time great episode, but I like it a lot. And I think this, okay, so that was 20, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now the top 26 is filled at the end of season 5. That's really fucking bad, because we have like we have about half the series left. We're gonna have to be making some cuts, but damn, Cutie Remark is so good. I know this is like the series finale. This feels like a series finale. The fact that we are going through all the previous antagonists, seeing all of these potential bad futures, King Sombra's being the best one. Okay, I mean, there's the full-on Fallout Equestria one, which is amazing. But the King Sombra was like, okay, it's this big pony war. Rainbow Dash is like missing a wing, and she's got the cybernetic one. You've got Super Soldier Pinkie Pie using her full Earth pony strength for the cause and everything. Like, holy shit! This is so interesting! Yo! I kind of wish we had a spinoff, like, just about this bad future. The others are still cool as well, but holy crap. Then you got Twilight. She keeps trying to go back in time, but she can't stop Glim Glim. Oh, good shot! And just how petty she is, how psychotic she is, how well, like, thought out her plan was. And how at the end, the fact that, you know, when they all got their cutie marks was really fucking important to Equestria. And again, it's one of those things that make it feel like this is a final episode. Is so good. Fuck, I almost kind of want to make 2 top 26s for like the first half of the show and like the first series finale and then the second series finale. Can I do that? I don't think I can. I don't think I'm supposed to. So I won't, but like, fuck, I kind of want to. I love how after all of this shit, Twilight is not able to solve the problem by overcoming Starlight in a magic duel because they're about evenly matched. I like that she's not able to just use the elements of harmony and send her to the Shadow Realm. Another reason this feels like a series finale is she has to solve a friendship problem with nothing more and nothing less than a genuine offer of friendship. You have done a lot of horrible fucking things, Starlight Glimmer, but I see potential in you, and I see hope. I want to be your friend. And I think we can have a good, healthy friendship if you let me. And damn, that's great. The fact that the threat is beaten by nuking them into oblivion is fitting for the end of Friendship is Magic. That's how it usually goes here. But it makes this one really stand out to me that that's not how Twilight dealt with Starlight at the end. And it's fucking perfect. Gauntlet of Fire is Spike's best episode. At least to me it is. Like, this is definitely a contender for the top 26. But let me count again. I believe this is number 27. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 27. So if this is here, something's got to leave. I'm going to say Flight to the Finish. Flight to the Finish is a great episode. Do not get me wrong. It's gonna get cut for Gauntlet of Fire. Oh man, this is when shit's gonna start getting crazy. No Second Prances. It's an A-tier episode. It's really entertaining. I think it's very funny. I think the ending with Trixie, there's definitely ways you can interpret her trying to go through with the trick. I just love her relationship with Starlight. Even here at the very start, it's kind of toxic with Trixie's motivations, and let's be honest, their friendship never stops being toxic. They're terrible people, but they're kind of perfect for each other. But even though they're awful, and they're often awful to each other, to me it just kind of never stops being entertaining, and the fact that they can still be friends through it all is fucking great. Hearthswarming Tale. Wow, this is one of my favorite episodes. I'm a sucker for A Christmas Carol. I'm a sucker for musicals. Oh boy, I absolutely love this. I love the songs. It's Jacob Marley, not Bob Marley. I remember from the last time I brought this up, like, the fact that there's no Jacob Marley is kind of weird. And there's not really a Bob Cratchit. Like, Rainbow Dash is both Bob Cratchit and also Nephew Fred at the same time. Like, it's a heavily abridged and condensed version of the story. I still think it gets a lot of the story across, and I really like the songs. Who am I gonna cut for you? Mod Pie, maybe? I think. There we go. Also, you're like a season 8 episode. You're gonna be like all the way at the end, bro. I got to you too early. The Saddle Row review. So I'm gonna be honest. Let me just go ahead and speed run the rest of season 6, because none of them are gonna be contenders for this. Like, Stranger Than Fanfiction, let me just do this real quick. Stranger Than Fanfiction, I think, is a very fun episode, and I like the meta commentary of Quibble Pants being like, yeah, you know, I really liked the first 3 books, and everything after that, and yeah, I wonder why you stopped watching after season 3, buddy. I think is fun. I really like the two, and I like the moral. People can like the same things for different reasons. Just because I like the old stuff and you like the new stuff, like you like the whole series, I kind of stopped getting into it after a certain point. We're still fans of the show. There's no, like, gatekeeping is shitty. Just enjoy the things you want to enjoy. I really, really like that. I think that's important. Times They Are a Changeling. I think this is a good episode. I think it's another really good Spike episode. I didn't really talk about why Gauntlet of Fire is good. It's a fun adventure. It shows us a lot about the dragons and dragon culture. And it's a Spike episode that not only doesn't treat him like shit, it emphasizes his best qualities. And I love that. This episode does the same thing. I just don't think it's quite as fun. I get the song. I don't think the song's the best. I think it's kind of okay. I do really like the one part, though, when you kind of see Starlight. It's not super in the background, but Starlight just kind of has that moment where she goes, oh, Spike trying to convince everyone that Thorax is cool and we shouldn't we shouldn't judge him based on our assumptions, but we should take him as he is. He's just like me. He's just like me for real. Huh. I'm an awful fucking person. And now I'm being a hypocrite. Maybe I should be willing to accept him, huh? I really like that. Dungeons of Discord, it's another fun episode. It's the first Guys Night episode. It's like, yeah, that actually becomes kind of a recurring thing, and I think that's pretty fucking neat. I think it's really funny. I think it's a good time. I just wouldn't say it's an all-time favorite. Every little thing she does... Okay, mouse being weird. This is another one. It's like, this is maybe a contender for this. I know we're at 28 now. Oh, fuck. We're gonna have to make some cuts. These two might get cut. I don't know. And then To Where and Back Again. I like the idea. I think it's cool. It really is just... I think the ending is a bit too rushed. And knowing that this is supposed to be the culmination of Starlight's arc, and now she is a better person because here she gets to graduate. It's like, you're no longer my student. I have nothing left to teach you. The fuck you mean? Starlight's a psycho. Trust me. Even in her episodes where it's supposed to be she's making progress and is a better person, she's a psycho. That's what makes her fun. I love that she's nuts. Twilight, how many times did you fucking save the world before you were no longer Celestia's student? Starlight gets to save it once and she's Gucci. I don't buy it. I still think it's a really good, fun adventure, though. So now we get here. This episode is just fucking funny. It's an episode where every pony gets to do things. I love how it feels like an episode of The Office where shit will happen and then you cut to the character being interviewed and talking about what's going on. There's the scene of Pinky, and then right behind her, there's another Pinky, meaning either someone from the Mirror Pond didn't get exploded, or it's just the Pinky from Equestrian Girls coming to visit. The fucking sweep thing, I didn't really get it the first time I watched it. I just could not hear the beat, and then I watched it this time, and I was like, no, this kind of slaps. I hate that this kind of slaps, but it kind of slaps. It's really fun. It's super entertaining. What would I cut for? And then you have every little thing she does, which is Starlight has to do a bunch of friendship lessons with the main six and actually get to know them and become friends, which you kind of see her do at the end here, so it seems like she already did it, and then they made an episode for it, but I still like the episode. She wants to get them all done in one day so she doesn't have to do friendship shit and she doesn't have to do all these little things that she'll probably be bad at. So she tries to cast a spell to make her friends a little more susceptible to what she wants to do, which ends up turning them into mindless zombies, which goes about as well as you'd think it would. And then, when the spell gets broken, everyone is understandably angry. And I just love the way they're talking like they have a hangover here. He's like, guys, stop being so loud. Can you just, like, turn down the volume just a little bit? I think is super funny. I love Rainbow Dash. Rainbow Dash is this one time. She's like, hey guys, so, I had to get a bunch of friendship lessons done and I fucked up. I'm sorry. Here's a friendship lesson for you. Don't brainwash your friends! And how, while every pony else in the Remain 5 is like, alright, she seems genuinely sorry. It's a good apology. I forgive you. Pinky is the last to do so. This might really, because I talked about it in some of the later seasons, like this episode in particular, I super noticed it. There just seems to be a point where Pinky stopped being Pinky, where she stopped being like, I'm super nice and friendly and want to be everybody's friend. And when she just started choosing violence at all fucking times. And it kind of seems like this might be the first time it really happened. Like, no, I don't want to forgive her. I'm fucking mad. She does still forgive her, but it's... You would think Pinky would be the first to jump at it, and she's the last. I find that really interesting. Now, if I have to cut a couple episodes, I'm not cutting this. Maybe, but I think this one is better than these two. No. Maybe? I know I said that this is one of Rarity's 2 best episodes. I think I prefer Sweet and Elite. I think I'm going to go ahead and cut Canterlot Boutique. It's really good. It's really good. I'm going to cut it for Saddle Row, and I think I'm going to cut every little thing she does. Another really fun and good episode. I'm like, no, maybe? No. I mean, I think this episode, I think the endgame of this episode is funnier. I do so really like this episode. It's like, I can't cut this. Fuck, this is going to start getting hard. Okay, Celestial Advice. I like it. I think it's a good episode. I think it's really funny. But again, the idea of, yeah, Starlight's now completely done. I don't really buy that. And that's a lot of what the episode is about, and I don't think I can quite agree with that. All Bottled Up. Fuck, this episode is so funny. Again, their toxic friendship with Trixie doing a bunch of shit to piss Starlight off and not realizing it, and Starlight not communicating. A very good moral about how communication is fucking important. Do not bottle up your anger because you don't want that shit exploding on you is a really good, important moral. There's also the main 6 in their escape room. They're like, we're just the best of friends. We're so good. We're so well put together. And then they have the most, like, generic saccharine song about being best friends. And because they stopped to sing this song, they didn't break the escape room record. To me, is one of my genuinely, like, favorite jokes in the entire show. Oh, it's so funny. What do I cut for it, though? I don't think it's necessarily better than these. It's maybe a little bit funnier than Best Night Ever, but I still just have a soft spot for it. No. These might be equally funny, with, I think, equally good morals, but I do gotta respect the lore implications from this. This is the other really good Trixie episode that I have on here. What's funnier? Because I think this is probably, to me, a funnier episode overall, and the ending joke is hysterical. Simple Ways has like a really funny scene. I think this episode as a whole is probably funnier than Simple Ways. So I think I am gonna cut Simple Ways. I actually feel kind of bad about that because fuck, this episode is really good and really funny, but I think All Bottled Up is overall funnier. But do I think Simple Ways is funnier than Saddle Row? Saddle Row is super good. I think it's kind of one of those, like, Saddle Row is overall more consistently funny. This, though, has a much funnier joke overall. I think I'll keep it like this for now, though. We'll see. Fluttershy leans in. Like I said, I think in terms of... I love this episode because of the full stop it puts on Fluttershy's character development. It's not an episode that I find that funny, though. Like, that really... I probably should have said this earlier. The best way I can really describe what makes a top 26 episode. How likely am I to just say, if like I'm in the mood to watch Friendship is Magic, let me throw this episode on. That's really what it comes down to. Even a two-parter, which I'm like, it's longer than the average episode, clearly. But if I'm saying, I want to watch some Friendship is Magic, I gotta get like 12 cc's of pony stat. What are episodes that I'm gonna go for? I want something that's either like a good adventure, something really funny, something that's something that warms my heart, or one that's just like, damn, that's just a really good and important episode. Like, that's Sonic Green Boom is not super funny, and it's not like a big adventure, and I don't even know if I would say it's heartwarming, but it's so important. I'm like, no, I could watch Sonic Green Boom. Simple Ways is definitely an episode I could throw on. A lot of these are episodes I could throw on. Boy, this is where it gets really hard. A Royal Problem. This is such... Okay, let me go and do this real quick. Because these are both... This is season 8, so I can't throw this on yet until later. Okay. These are both Princess Luna and Princess Celestia episodes. Which one do I like more? Because I know I was talking about it's like these two are basically competitors. This one I think can really stand out because of all its lore implications and its great moral. Here, they're kind of very similar. It's like, this is a road trip episode. And I mean, I don't have the Starlight Trixie road trip episode here because I don't like it as much. This is an episode about how siblings can fight, but they still love each other, and that's kind of what this episode is too. This is just, we essentially switch places for it. It's a little bit of Freaky Friday. This is a fun road trip. This one has a song, and I really liked the song, but this episode also has Starlight causing chaos, and I love that dream sequence. Between the two of these, I would cut between Dark and Dawn. What would I cut for Royal Problem, though? I think I'll cut Leap of Faith. Leap of Faith is great. It's a really, really good episode. I think I would rather have Royal Problem on the list. Discordant Harmony, it's a good time. It's a really good time. It is a really, really fucking funny episode. But I really don't think I would cut anything else up here for it. Perfect Pair has to be up here. Perfect Pair is a triple S tier episode. No fucking question. I'm gonna be honest. It's a better Apple Family Reunion. It is everything I want out of Apple Family Reunion. Like, it's an Apple Family episode, and it hits me super hard, and the song is really sweet. And also, Apple Family Reunion has that scene at the end with the meteor, or like with the like the meteors, the comets, and it's all about my brain stopped for a second. Yeah, that's right, because the two shooting stars go by, and it's a subtle representation of Applejack's parents. Here is just, it's Applejack's parents. This is an episode that's made me cry a few times. I've seen this episode thrice, and I have cried every time I watched it. On this rewatch, I was basically in tears the whole fucking time. It was almost like my body's like, I know I'm gonna cry. I'm just kind of getting ready for it. And it was just like throughout the episode. It fucked me up. It's great. Now, I can have them both. Maybe I should cut something else to keep Apple Family Reunion on there. But you know what? I don't think I want to. And it really is just because there's episodes that entertain me more. It hits me hard. It really does. This does something similar, and it's also just an episode about family. I think I can retire Apple. I know I had it above these three in the season 3 tier list. I would probably rather watch these three than Apple Family Reunion. Maybe not Sleepless in Ponyville. So you know what? As great as this episode is, I think I'll take it off for now. Apple Family Reunion will get to stay a little bit longer. Fuck, I love Fame and Misfortune. I feel like I shouldn't, because I know people talk about this episode and just how mean it is, and how cynical it is, and how it feels like the writer's saying to the fans, shut up and fuck off. And they kind of are. I personally see it as a more well-intentioned, tongue-in-cheek kind of making fun of the fandom. I don't see it nearly as mean-spirited as I know a lot of other people do. And it also has a real... I love the Flawless song. I really do. And this face, I'm making a dress, darling, is one of the funniest scenes in the whole show. It's so mean, but it's great. I'm gonna bump off Saddle Row. I love this episode. It knocked a few other episodes off, but fuck, damn it. I was like cracking up during this scene. It has a top tier song. Okay, actually, hold up. Hold up. Great song, really funny scene. What do I think of the rest of the episode, though? Like, the shit with Pinky, I think, is pretty funny, but it's not amazing. The stuff with Applejack, I think, is kind of okay. I actually really like the Fluttershy scene because if this is an episode that, like, puts the full stop on her character development, she's able to reiterate it here. And I think the stuff with Rainbow Dash is alright. You know, I don't know if I will put it up here, actually. I think there's some great scenes in the episode. I get why people don't like it. I don't personally agree. I think Saddle Row is more just consistently funny and entertaining. It's kind of like what I was saying about Party of One. Like, Party of One has just one... like, it's a good episode. There's still some, like, other good scenes. It's the one scene that just does everything for it. This episode is kind of like that, but the party scene, I think, kind of clears it. Secrets and Pies. Boy, this episode is fucking hilarious. I was not expecting to like this episode this much. I genuinely thought it was gonna be like, this is alright. This is gonna be kind of okay. It's Pinky is worried that Rainbow doesn't like her pies. Okay. I was howling with laughter. Like, it's just super funny. Oh god, the like slow motion while Pinky refuses to blink and is like licking her eyes to keep them open. And then in the microsecond of her blinking, Rainbow Dash just does all this shit to get rid of the pie. What would I cut? I basically already said that I would cut Apple Family Reunion. It feels weird to say, yeah, I'm gonna cut this episode for this one, you know, but I pretty much already said Apple Family Reunion will get cut because unfortunately it's just not as entertaining and not as funny as some other episodes. And there's an episode that really fills the Apple Family Reunion niche. Do I really want to, though? I don't know. And even then, I look here, I'm like, okay, this is Rock Hard Love. I know it's not its title, but I don't care. Fuck, this episode is so funny. I think this is a funnier Pinkie Pie episode, so I would probably just cut Secrets and Pies for this. Which means we are now officially in Season 8. Let me go and do this. Let me go ahead and kind of blaze through Season 8. This is Marks for Effort. It's the one that introduced Cozy Glow. And it's a pretty fun episode. I think the Crusaders shenanigans are really fun. I think the Cozy Glow foreshadowing is really good. And it has the Sororous business face. But I don't think it's cutting anything. And I think this is a funnier episode. So this is going to go here. The Mean Six, I think, is probably one of the funniest episodes in the show. Like I said, it's reminding me of a much better episode. But just because I think Return of Harmony is much better than a lot of other episodes in the show. And with how much I love the corrupted version of the Six, the discorded version, it's like, alright, the Mean Six, I kind of fuck with this. This is a Hearthswarming Club. This is that Amity Club Christmas special. And I really, really liked it for just how just how fucking sweet it is. I think I would prefer this over this, so I don't think I'm going to keep the Amity Club. As much as that kind of breaks my heart. Rockhoof in a Hard Place. This is an episode I think is good. I kind of had to, like, the more I talked about it, the more I realized I liked it. But I don't think I could cut, like, some all-time classic episodes for it. So I think it would go down here. What Lies Beneath. This is the episode that made me really like it. Like, this episode did a lot for the Amity Club, Gallus in particular. This is kind of what solidified them. It's like, no, I like them. I like them quite a bit. I'm not cutting, like, Best Night Ever for it. I'm not cutting All Bottled Up for it. Like, it's very good. I don't think I can do that. Let me just go ahead and get the rest of them up here real quick. Sounds of Silence, I actually like a lot. I think, again, I think there's kind of a good, essentially it's a moral about censorship that, well, it's kind of, I mean, it is important to keep other people in mind. It's important to keep people's opinions and their sensibilities in mind. You shouldn't 1000% just censor yourself for other people. You should still want to be able to express yourself. And I think the song is really good. I liked it a lot. School Raise is just a Canterlot wedding again. It's a shit show. There's some really cool shit. I love Tyrik's whole Hannibal Lecter vibe. This fucking face is one of my favorite faces in the entire series, and Cozy Glow is just a gem, but I don't think I would say it's an all-time episode. Best gift ever. It's in between season 8 and season 9, so I'll just kind of go and put it up here. It's so fucking good. But okay, if this is the mark of 26, what are we doing about these 4? Are they all going to make the list? So of the 4, is there any where I would just say it's like, no, I'm cutting it? I think it'd be Sounds of Silence. It's great. I fucking love it. But I don't know. Okay. Do I want to cut Sonic Rainboom for these? I don't think so. Cutie Mark Chronicles, no. Party of One. Oof. This might be a hot take. I think I'm ready to let go of Party of One. It's a great episode. It really is. I think there are some other good scenes throughout the episode. But I think we're getting to the point where there are some episodes that I like more consistently than Party of One. And have some all-time... Because, like, God, the... Season 9 had some bangers, man. Like, we're going to have to make room for them, too. I think I'm going to go ahead and drop Party of One. I don't think I can say goodbye to Best Night Ever yet. No. I don't want to say goodbye to Sweet and Elite. I might have to. I really might have to. I don't want to say goodbye to it yet. I kind of don't want to do it for Read 'em and Weep either. I know I've already said goodbye to Apple Family Reunion at one point. I will go ahead and lock that in. Hurricane Fluttershy, I can't get rid of it. It's About Time. When I just look at some of the coming up episodes, I know I'm going to have to make room. I think It's About Time is an episode that at some point I am going to say goodbye to. So let's go ahead and rip that Band-Aid off. I want to keep Magic Duel as long as I can. Wonderbolt Academy to me is an episode that has to stay. Testing has to stay. Twilight's Kingdom is staying. Boy, I don't know if I can really cut these season 5 ones. Gauntlet of Fire I think is probably staying. What the fuck? These two are mixed up. Saddle Row, as much as I love Saddle Row, I think there is going to be a point where I'll say goodbye to it, so I will go ahead and cut it too. This was right here-ish. Okay. Again, I just kind of want to say, it's not necessarily that these are specifically being cut for these 3. It is just, again, when I look at what's coming and I know I'm going to have to make room, let's bite to some of these bullets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... No, what the fuck? Oh, yeah, that's right. Sorry. I was like, there's 4 in season 1. No, I had to drop 1. Okay, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So unless I miscounted, I think that's 25. Sparkle 7, episode 200, is really good and really entertaining. I love me a heist. Y'all know how much I love me a heist. I don't think it's going to make the list. Frenemies has to. Frenemies is so fucking good. Better Way to Be Bad is one of my favorite songs in the show. It's an episode about Team Rocket and them just becoming a trio, and it's so funny and it's so entertaining. Student Council. So it's a Trixie Starlight episode, but it also has Maud and Mudbriar, and Sunburst is there too. Let's see. I feel like the episodes I would probably cut for it are Rock Hard Love or All Bottled Up. Which of these 3 do I think is the best? Okay, Rock Hard Love has the I never learned how to read, which cracked me up. It has this... Okay, so first off, it's an episode where... Because I didn't really talk about these, did I? This is an episode where Pinky is just choosing violence the entire time. It is a friend indeed, but from the opposite perspective. It's not that Pinky is dealing with someone annoying with that person, but I want to be your friend. It's Maud has a boyfriend. And Pinky doesn't like the boyfriend, so now she has to deal with someone that she can't stand, and she gets to know what that's like, and the role reversal is gold, right from the top. Her opposite day Imagine spot had me rolling. The scene where she goes back to visit her sisters, and Limestone's being a piece of shit at first, and Marble just gives her that death glare like, sis, shut the fuck up, Pinky needs to talk, was great. You have Limestones of, wow, you look as miserable as I feel all the time, which really made me laugh. And then, hey, Pinky, Pinky seeing that, like, oh, I have to split open Mudbriar's head and see what's inside. Again, like, she's choosing violence. It's so funny. Okay, so here's the thing. Student Council's really entertaining. I don't think it's funnier than Rock Hard Love or All Bottled Up. Summer Sun Setback is kind of the same thing. I think it's a good episode. I think it's a good, like, lore. It's definitely a good lore episode because of what's going on in the season and setting up the season 9, like, storyline. I don't think I'd put it an S. And then we get, like, these. Okay. What are we gonna do here? So I think this is 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. But these aired together, and I kind of count them as one. I think that's fair. Maybe I shouldn't. We'll see. But anyway, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5. I'm going to cut the Big Mac question. It's a fun episode. I think it's very sweet. I like it being a guys' night episode. I love Discord and all the shit he does with the apples. It's really good. It's really fun. But I don't think I would put it up here. I said that this might be the funniest episode of the show. It is a real genuine contender for that. I was cracking up the entire time. I might feel a little bad about this. I really don't feel as bad for cutting Party of One now because I would have cut it for this. 100%. If this is the episode that kind of said, we can have crazy friendship as magic faces, this was its last hoorah where every fucking face that Twilight or Pinky makes is so... It's like watching Ren and Stimpy. There is no on model in this episode. It is bonkers, batshit crazy from start to finish. And it is gold. It is platinum. I loved it. Who gets the axe? Would I cut Best Night Ever for this? Okay, let me put it like this. I would cut Best Night Ever for this. Is there something else I can justify cutting to save Best Night Ever? Okay. No, I like this too much. I loved Best Gift Ever. Holy shit, it was amazing. Like, it's... I'm sorry, I didn't really get to talk about these two, did I? The Discorded 6 come back, and they interact... I'm gonna cut Mean 6. I really like Means. Damn, this is the sole survivor of Season 8, and it might not make it, but it's currently the survivor of Season 8 might not get anything on the list. Wow, I mean, Best Gift Ever is in between them, so if you count it as a Season 8, it gets some life. Where does it go? It's about here? I think that's right. I really enjoy the Mean 6. It is an episode where the discorded versions of the main 6 get to interact with the regular versions of the Mean 6. It's a very mean, cynical episode, but it's really fucking funny. I don't think it hits me. It doesn't feel like as important as something like Sonic Rainboom. I don't think it's quite as funny as this, or like Lesson Zero. I would probably put It's About Time over it, honestly. But I do think it's really good. Okay. This is 26. We're counting these two as one episode. And I mean, honestly, if we're not, if I have to consider them two separate episodes, this might be a spicy take. I would put The Last Problem in an A. I think it's a really good series finale. I think it's a good looking ahead. Like, it's a nice epilogue. But in terms of an episode where I'd be like, dude, I want to watch some Friendship is Magic right now, I probably wouldn't watch it. If I was watching Ending of the End, which I could definitely see myself watching, I would throw The Last Problem on top of it. But I don't think I would watch it separately the way I would for Ending of the End. I think I'll say that. So I think I'm at 28. Let me check to make sure that's correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Horseshoeing is a really fun episode. It's the one where Starlight is trying to find a new vice headmare, and Trixie really wants the position, and it's just kind of a shit show from start to finish. I think I like this Starlight Trixie episode more, so I'm gonna cut this one too. It just oh man, this is it. The top 27. One episode is going to be cut for Ending of the End, because Ending of the End is making it onto the list. Damn, I actually got to keep a lot from season 2. Damn, I'm actually really sad. Sleepless in Ponyville didn't make it, and I had to say goodbye to Apple Family Reunion. I'll do this. Once I make this top 26, I'm gonna look back here and see, is there anyone I want to try to bring back and see how that goes. Then we'll see what's up here. Who am I cutting for Ending of the End? I'm not cutting Trivial Pursuit. It's too funny. I'm not counting Frenemies. I mean, again, it's another Team Rocket episode, but it's too good. Best Gift Ever. I don't know if I'd say it's my favorite Christmas episode, because Heartwarming Tale, but I fucking loved Best Gift Ever. Like, the Flim and Flam shit alone is top tier. The song was stuck in my head for several days. You got the pudding face. Like, there's enough great shit to have it stay. Rock Hard Love. Okay, I'm going to do this. The episodes that I could maybe cut, I'm going to put at the end. Maybe. No. Maybe. Maybe. No. Maybe. No, 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 no. maybe. These are... Okay, so I think these episodes are all locked in. One of these has to be cut for Ending of the End, and then we'll see if there's other episodes I kind of want to bring back in exchange for these. So for Ending of the End... Sorry, I just kind of... If I'm going to do this, I want them to be at least be in chronological order. It just feels right to me, okay? Okay, season 1. That's season 2. Season 2. Season 3. Season 6. Season 7. Season 7. Season 8. Okay. Who... I don't know. I think I'm leaning toward Rock Hard Love. Because I really don't want to cut Sweet and Elite. Like, this is Rarity's best episode. And I think it's a really good one. I'll put it like this. It's here for kind of the same reason Sonic Rainboom is. And if I'm not touching Sonic Rainboom, I don't think I should touch Sweet and Elite either. Best night ever. It's like, there's kind of a part of me that says, cutting season 1's finale for the finale is kind of fitting. This is Spike's best episode. I don't want to cut it either. Okay. This one or this one. I think I'm gonna cut Royal Problem for Ending of the End. Okay, I'll say this. I would keep Ending of the End over it. Do I want to cut it over Rock Hard Love? I think I will. I think I'm going to cut Royal Problem. Okay, so this is that's season 6. Yeah, I think that's... No, it goes there? I think that's right. So, I think this is the top 26. But like I said, I kind of want to look back on any wild cards. No... But it might just kind of count as part of that. No. Maybe. No. That's the interesting thing. This kind of fills the role of 2 episodes of, like, it has Maud and Mudbriar, and it also has, it's Starlight and Trixie's friendship. There's a part of me that says I should cut both of them, put this one in, because of how genuinely good and funny this episode is. But I don't know. I kind of don't want to, because this has its own merits, and so does... But Maud being super thirsty for Mudbriar is hilarious, but I don't know. I don't think I will. No. No, but that fucking face. Would I cut any of these for Sound of Silence? I don't think so. No... Maybe? Who would I cut for Mean 6? Would I cut Rock Hard Love for Mean 6? I think Rock Hard Love has some funnier scenes and is overall really funny. All Bottled Up is just gold from start to finish. Fuck, Magic Duel is too fun. Read 'em and Weep has, like, too much, like, nostalgia for me. I don't think I would. Secrets and Pies... Maybe for a funnier Pinkie episode, but I think this is a funnier Pinkie Pie episode. Would I cut one of these for Fame and Misfortune? It's tempting, but I don't think I will. No. No, unfortunately. No. You must die. Ogres, no. Ogres are like onion. Saddle Row is kind of tempting. It's like, I do kind of want to put Saddle Row back in. I'll say this. I feel like I feel like I kind of made it clear. I'm not cutting Sweet and Elite. I've said several times, like, this is Spike's best episode. I don't want to cut it for kind of those same reasons. Read It and Weep, I said a few times, like, I'm rooting for it to make it. I don't know if it will. It seems like it has. And it's an important episode to me. So I'm keeping that. Magic Duel is too damn fun. And best night ever is the best night ever. If I'm cutting anything, it's this or this, which is interesting, because, like, this is the last Season 8 episode. Again, best gift ever, it's kind of its own weird thing. And if I cut this, there's only one more episode from Season 7. Where was I? Saddle Row. Saddle Row or Rock Hard Love or... This is something I really have to think about. No. If I'm keeping Sweet and Elite, I think I can keep Sweet and Elite over this. What the hell even is this? Oh, that's Calcium. No. What's the better mod episode? I'm sorry, Pinky's Scene makes this the better mod episode. No. Maybe. No. I do love this episode, but no. And then, like, maybe these two, but I think their roles are kind of fulfilled. Okay, this is 26. Do I just want to cut these 4? What's the better Pinky episode? This one for being more consistently funny? I think so. I think I am going to officially... Party of One is gone. It's About Time is so funny. But I do think it's kind of covered. But the lore and the moral is... It's About Time I would put over Simple Ways. So I'm gonna, for sure, Simple Ways is super gone. Even though it's fucking funny as hell. It's About Time or Saddle Row. So what is this? This is 28. This is 28. I'm not going to do a top 28. I have to cut them. I know I already cut these, but that was what I was like, let me do a mass cut to make room, and room was made for some of the episodes that I knew were going to be on here, you know? Okay. Both of these episodes have, I think, really good morals, and they really make... You know what, though? I just don't feel like I have enough Starlight episodes. That's why I think this one has to stay. Because I want a good Starlight episode. And I'm sorry, the ending with the main 6 is too funny. Season 7 is for sure going to have multiple episodes. Okay. I think I would cut Saddle Row for It's About Time. As funny as it is. That's season 6. It goes right here. Rock Hard Love or It's About Time. This has a great moral and great lore implications. This has multiple really fucking funny scenes, and I really like the role reversal. This is super hard, actually. No pun intended with what I keep calling this episode. Okay. I have to make a fucking decision. It's already 11 o'clock. How long have I been going? I don't know. And we still gotta do all of this shit. It's About Time has already been cut. I think I can do it. As great as this episode is. I guess this might be episode 27 if I was doing that, but top 26. We're keeping something from season 8 after all. So these, I think, are the top 26. So now I'm going to try to divide it up to a top 13. Return of Harmony, Lesson 0, Hurricane Fluttershy, Wonderbolts Academy, boom, boom. I'm also going to completely admit I am not counting. These should be even and these aren't even. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So 3 of these are going to have to go down. Let's see. Between this and this. Again, I love this as a series finale. And that gives it... I know it's not actually the series finale, but the fact that it works so well as one does a lot for me. I think I prefer this one overall, so I'm going to put Remark down here. So I think that's what, 15? So I think I have to cut 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Who would I cut? No. Like, these are top 13 episodes. Which of these two do I prefer? Because I fucking love Wonderbolt Academy. Testing's super important to me. Maybe I would also put this one down. As great as they both are, like, alright. That makes things a little bit easier. I think this episode kind of deserves to be up here. This one for sure. Yeah, yes. This is tempting. Do I want to put this one down over Frenemies? Or maybe under testing. Maybe? Okay, if I put testing down here, how do I feel about that? How do I say about Wonderbolt Academy being no bullshit? It's my favorite Rainbow Dash episode. I think I can do that. And then just Team Rocket and this goofy shit. I think I can do that. Okay, I think that's top 13. So now I'm trying to lower it to about a top 6. So cutting it in half once more. These two for sure. Okay. So these are in the top 26. These are in the top 13. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think that works. Top 26. Top 13. These are the top 7. Do I want to make any changes to that? I don't think I can. The only thing I could maybe swap out is a Hearth-Swarming Tail. Oh, spam call. Ignore you. I would put Hearth-Swarming Tail probably over Hurricane Fluttershy and Wonderbolt. I would put it over Fences. What's the better musical episode? That's actually a good question. Would I put it over Frenemies and Trivial Pursuit? I think I would. I'm starting to get to a point where I'm like, maybe I would. You know what? Let me just say a top 6. I think I can do that. I think I can say those are my 6 favorite episodes. What's my favorite? What goes up here in the Princess tier with Fallout Equestria? Okay. It's not Perfect Pair. Perfect Pair makes me cry every time I see it. It is the most emotional episode of the show for me because of that. It just gets me every time. But I'll be honest, I do prefer these other ones for like how funny they are. Like, this clears a lot of episodes, but I would rather do these. It's not Twilight's Kingdom. I like this more, and I like this more in terms of, like, big, grand two-parters. Do I prefer the 2 big, grand two-parters specifically over Lesson 0 and Slice... Okay, what do I prefer between Lesson 0 and Slice of Life? For just single-shot episodes, which one do I like more? And do I want to do something like that, where it's... Here's my favorite two-parter here, because that's how a lot of the list was. Like, here's, like, the double S tiers were very often, here's the best two-parter of the season, here's the best non-two-parter. Slice of Life or Lesson 0. Slice of Life is an episode that I love because I followed the fandom. If I didn't, I wouldn't enjoy it as much, and I feel like Lesson 0 I can appreciate no matter what, but I did follow the fandom. And it's such, especially when you look at something like Fame and Misfortune, wherever it may be, there it is, which again is an episode I love, and I feel like it's a more in good fun poke at the fan base. This one is a very much like just pure, unadulterated love letter to the fan base. And I really, really like that. But I do love, I think it's Lesson Zero. I think of just pure one-shot episodes, Lesson Zero is my favorite. It's, if part of my critique, or like my criteria, excuse me, is how willing am I to just throw an episode on and watch it? There are very few episodes I would do that over Lesson Zero. Slice of Life is close. I think Lesson Zero clears it. So now, sorry, I'm just trying to organize these. Between these two, what is my favorite two-parter? And then which one could beat Lesson Zero? If I want to go that route. Ending of the End is the series finale, again, with a little help from its friends. I love Team Rocket. I love how threatening they are. I love how badass they are. I had so much fun watching this episode. I loved watching all these climactic fights. And I was talking about how it might be my favorite episode in the whole show. And I was wondering, is it genuinely my favorite episode, or is it recency bias? I think it was a little recency bias. The reason I would say Return of Harmony beats it is what I was saying about Return of Harmony. Every pony matters. Granted, they still matter here. Because in that final confrontation, it is not just Twilight fighting the baddies, it's the main six and Spike fighting the baddies. And, like, Starlight gets to do a lot of shit. Like, I get that. It's why I love this episode so much. But Return of Harmony, excuse me, I just like how much real focus everybody gets. And how it's like an inverse of the first episode. And I think that's super neat. And as much as I love Cozy, as much as I love Chrysalis, as much as I love Tyrek, Discord is a perfect antagonist for Friendship is Magic. He is literally the antithesis to everything the show is. And the fact that they could reform him says a lot. And I really like that. But he's this perfect combination of genuinely cunning, genuinely powerful, and genuinely funny. It is despite him being this fucking mishmash, he is perfect for Friendship is Magic. I think these are my two favorite episodes when everything is said and done. And if I have to pick one of them, it's like, this is the best single episode, this is the best two-parter, it's Return of Harmony. Return of Harmony, to me, is my favorite episode of Friendship is Magic. So here we are. The final tier list. So now here's what I kind of am thinking about. Of the top 26, 3 of them were in Season 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them were from Season 2. Two of them were from Season 3. How many are from Season 4? Was this the only... No, okay, yeah, 2 of them were from Season 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 were from Season 5. Only 1 was from... No, sorry. 2 were from Season 6. 1 was from Season 7. No, yeah, sorry, no, that one. 2 were from Season 7. 1 from Season 8. 1 from just kind of its own thing. And then 3 from Season 9. So it looks like in terms of the numbers, Season 5 had the most episodes in the top 25. Or excuse me, in the top 26, Season 5 had the most. Season 2, however, has dead ass my 2 favorite episodes. So it gets a lot of extra points for that. But, I think that's it. That is the ultimate tier list. I have no idea how long this was. I think I started around, like, 9, maybe 8, something like 8:30. So this was maybe 2.5, 3 hours. Which, if that's the case, means it's still somehow shorter than my tier list of all of Season 4. First, I don't know why the Season 4 tier list is so long, it just is, but that's it. So the way I see it, unless I eventually do Equestria Girls, which I probably will, I just don't know when, I have one final episode, or one final video to do for Friendship is Magic. My just parting thoughts. This was my experience when I first watched the show. This was my experience binging it. These were the questions I wanted to know. Here are my answers, etc., etc. Thank you for watching these tier lists if you have. Thank you for watching this one if you did. For all I know, no one will watch this and you are a purely hypothetical audience. But hypothetical or no, you have been a great audience. Thank you so much for your time. I know I wasted a lot of it, but it was sincerely appreciated.